Why did you use the stairs?
Use the stairs! 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 Stupid guys up there told me to use the stairs when data's falling. And some guy up there told me I have stupid inventions. And I keep spending money.
Welcome back to 1985, Katrina Porter.
We are in 2022, dumbass.
Do you want to say my name?
Oh, sorry.
Each episode, Katrina and I talk about a movie that both of us love. But not so fast. Only one of us gets to say anything good about it, and they're the pro of the episode, and the other person is the con, and they have to find all of its faults. We have 3 rules that we must follow. Number 1, whoever claims pro on a movie we haven't covered yet gets it. Again, for now, we're still working that through.
You did it just today.
Did we?
Yeah,
Okay, number 2, the con only has to attack during the synopsis. And number 3, speaking of that, during that synopsis, the con can't say anything nice about the movie. And we have a penalty for breaking rule number 3, which is that the offender has to say something good about the movie they don't want to say anything good about because they hate it. Mine is the remake of Clash of the Titans.
Mine is the movie Hannibal.
Yeah. You will know that this rule has been broken by the pro pressing that big old red button. And you hear this sound.
I'm in a glass case of emotion.
I have the good fortune, like I had found a treasure chest full of doubloons, of being the pro on 1985, The Goonies.
God damn it. And I am the con. Fucking hell.
You're screwed.
I'm going to make this movie fall into a pit of spikes, and even a bone piano won't be able to save it.
Nothing is going to save you. I hope we love each other after this.
I do too.
How? How are you going to do this? This movie is perfection.
Okay, well, here is my plan.
Okay.
I am going to try really hard to prove that this movie seems lighthearted and fun and wonderful.
It is.
But it's actually just one gigantic bully.
What?
Yeah. That's my theme for my attacks.
This movie is about friendship and perseverance.
Can you tell me a little bit about it before I have to get the synopsis so I can drink a little bit?
Yeah, okay. The screenplay for this movie was done by Chris Columbus.
Oh, really?
Yep.
Oh.
Yeah, and it's one of several collaborations between him and Steven Spielberg.
Okay.
This confuses me, and people way smarter than me can explain this. Technically, Steven Spielberg's role in this movie is like story by Steven Spielberg, but like everything he's involved with that he's not the director of, he clearly had more involvement than that. There's a lot of rumors that he directed several scenes.
What?
Right,
Jesus Christ, how many times have we gone over this?
a lot. I think Poltergeist, which we haven't released because it was garbage. But there was that. A lot of people thought he directed Poltergeist.
There was another one recently where it was Spielberg.
Yeah, because I said SS, and you're like, don't say it that way.
Because it's Nazis.
Was it Twister?
No.
Yeah. Yes, Steven Spielberg was an executive producer of Twister. That's what it was. There are several parts of the Goonies that were definitely from Steven Spielberg's past. Like, I want you to put in this because this is something that happened to me when I was growing up.
That's cute.
It is. It is. Dick Donner.
Dick Donner.
Our friend Dick Donner. Dick directed Lost Boys, right?
No. He was going to, and then he ended up doing, I think, Lethal Weapon?
Yes, he definitely did Lethal Weapon.
Yeah. So he was going to, but it ended up going to a different director. I just can't think of at the moment because you gave me more booze. It was somebody else, but he was still heavily involved.
Okay. So right before Goonies, Chris Columbus and Steven Spielberg did Gremlins.
Oh, okay.
And there's a couple Easter eggs in Goonies that reference Gremlins.
I wondered about that.
Uh-huh.
I didn't know that was Chris Columbus, though.
Yep.
Oh, it was, I almost had it. Not Jerry Bruckheimer.
Joey Shoes.
Joey Shoes. Damn
Joey
it.
Shoes.
Kind of like Joey Pants.
Joey Shoes directed Lost Boys. Joel
That's
Shoemaker.
right. Joel Schumacher. Yep, you're right. You're right.
Some people call him Shoemaker. What do you have nice to say about this movie?
Already?
Nice. I said, what do you have nice to say?
I know, but does that mean we're about to get in?
Yeah.
Fuck.
So this movie came out in 1985.
Mm-hmm.
I would have been 8.
Nope.
7.
Oh, wait, yeah.
Yeah.
I can't do math.
Like, yes, I was. I was 8. You were 7. This movie, like a lot of the movies we do, but this one in particular, has such a nostalgic feeling for us. We love it so much. And as do most people that have seen it. It's hard for me to imagine watching this movie unless you're just a real tight ass and not loving it.
I will say that I feel confident that at least with 80s kids that grew up with us, this sparked a whole lot of summer adventures.
Oh, yeah. This movie, Labyrinth,
Yeah.
Legend.
We thought for sure that an adventure was going to happen and it was going to be unique to us. And then the summer ended. We're like, oh, all I did was go to the public pool.
Yeah, adventures in babysitting really tricked us as well. There were no adventures in babysitting.
Ours was more like adventures in ear infections.
I've seen this movie a million times. The most recent time I watched it was to take my notes for this, and I watched it with your son, my nephew Finn, who is 8. And it was so fun watching it with him. He did have a lot of questions, which when you're trying to take notes is a little annoying.
He always has a lot of questions.
But some of his questions I'll pepper through because they're cute.
All right, do I just... Okay.
Say something good because you're getting ready to play the fucking song.
Okay. This movie means so much to me, to
Why?
Katrina. It really is a very, very special movie. Okay.
Play the fucking song, Bane.
Let the games begin.
The opening scene is a jail cell where Jake, who is played by Robert Davi, he's being a bit of a prankster. And this is where we meet the Fratellis for the first time. The people that make up the Fratellis are Jake, Robert Davi, Mama Fratelli, who is Anne Ramsey, R.I.P., and as I normally do, I'm going to pronounce this name wrong, Francis is played by Joe Pantoliano?
It's Joey Pants.
Joey Pants, okay.
If
Played by
everybody
Joey-
else in Hollywood calls him Joey Pants, we can too.
Yeah, he was in Men in Black. No.
No,
He
he wasn't.
was in Bad Boys.
Joey Pants?
Joey Pants, yeah, he was one of the cops.
Was he really?
Mm-hmm.
I am astounded, absolutely astounded that you went with Bad Boys, right? Bad Boys is what you went with?
I like that movie.
And not The Matrix.
Anne Ramsey, this was like her second to last movie. After this, she did Throw Mama from the Train, which she was nominated for an Oscar for Best Supporting Actress.
Good.
And she died from cancer. Well, which happens to somebody else we'll get to.
For real?
Yeah.
Oh, no.
Yeah.
Just out of curiosity because I know you're just going to move straight past.
Yeah.
So Jake has a full set of clothes with him in jail?
This is not prison. This
No,
is
it's jail.
Yeah.
I know the difference between jail and prison.
Yeah.
But he gets to have, like, in jail,
Yeah.
like a very lovely red checkered flannel.
Yeah.
And a handsome gray scarf.
Yeah.
And a fedora.
Yes. This is filmed in Astoria, Oregon.
Yes.
They love fashion.
In the jail?
Yeah.
They let you keep all of your possessions.
I honestly, no, they don't let you keep all of your possessions. They don't let you keep like a phone or a knife or things like that. But when you're in a holding cell, I think they absolutely do let you keep your clothes.
I mean, your scarf and fedora and
Is this
and
one of your?
whatnot?
Yeah, I think in jail you get to keep your clothes.
Absolutely not. You get the jail like fall wardrobe.
Robert Davi and Joey Pants, they didn't like each other. And a lot of their banter in the movie really reflected how they felt about each other. They did not get along.
Wait, do you mean like they didn't get along in real life? Or
Correct.
Like, oh, they didn't get along in real life?
Right. So their banter during their auditions helped them both get the roles. They didn't like each other.
Really?
Right. Joey Pants and Robert Davi.
Did they say why?
No, I didn't realize there was going to be more follow-up questions. There's a police chase, and we start to meet the main characters. Basically, Mama Fratelli and Francis break Jake out of prison.
Yeah,
out of the jail.
In a Jeep. This has just become like a high-budget Jeep ad.
It's an ORV with bullet holes.
Yeah, a Jeep.
Okay. You're making me feel really good about this.
You should.
There's a police chase, and we start to meet the main characters. Chunk, who is played by Jeff Cohen, is having some pizza and a shake.
Of course he is.
What's wrong with that?
Oh, no. It's just you almost never see Chunk without either a reference to food or actual food in his hand and face.
His name is Chunk.
That's the name that they gave him, but we for sure know that food is an issue for him, that he's probably overweight because it is constantly attached to him.
When we first meet Chunk is when we get our first shit of the movie. He's like, oh, shit, which my nephew Finn loved. We get these 18 more times exactly. There are 19 shits in this movie. You got so many cuss words, and you got a certain type of cuss words to get a certain rating. And this movie got PG. We meet Data.
His name is Data.
His friend is Data. He's like the 007 character, which I didn't look into more, but it's like a Steven Spielberg calling card, having the 007 in movies.
Because he talks about it later.
Yeah.
I did not know that.
He's played by Ke Huy Quan. He was most recently in Everything Everywhere All at Once, which if you've not seen it, is by far one of the coolest and weirdest movies I have ever seen.
Oh, I loved it.
Michelle Kwan is in it.
Yeah.
And she's perfection. Well, speaking of Chunk and Jeff Cohen, Jeff Cohen is now an entertainment lawyer, and he is the entertainment lawyer for Ke Huy Quan.
No way.
Yes, he is.
Is he really?
He is.
Oh, that is delightful. Has nothing to do with the movie.
Data flies into the house where we see Sam Ganji, who's left the Shire because he's tired of following Frodo around, and he's chilling in Oregon with his hot brother Thanos. Sam is played by Sean Astin, and Thanos is played by Josh Brolin, who we really had a thing for. I mean, I'm still kind of into it, but we definitely had a thing for Josh Brolin in the Goonies.
They set up right away that everybody has like very established parts. Andy is cheerleading, Brand is weightlifting. The first thing you see with Mikey is with a telescope. So he's a curious brain kid.
He's curious, but he's also really anxious. You know, his inhaler is a thing throughout the movie. And he has kind of a hypochondriac mother who's sort of is a bit of a helicopter, and so he's very anxious.
She's like, he'll catch asthma.
Along with Anne Ramsey, Josh Brolin has also been nominated for an Oscar. He was nominated for Milk.
That's what Josh Brolin was nominated for?
He played the man who killed Harvey Milk. And then we meet Mouth, who's played by Corey Feldman.
Yeah.
What do you have to say about that?
No, it's just pre-mess.
Pre-mess. Corey, the important thing about this and Corey Feldman getting this role, you want to know the other person that auditioned for it? Corey Haim.
No.
This is where the Coreys met. Yeah. Corey Feldman got this. Corey Feldman auditioned for the role in License to Drive, which Corey Haim got.
Right.
But this started the Coreys.
He's in License to Drive.
He is, but he's not the main character.
So, and I think Lost Boys, was that 86?
Yeah, it was after
this.
The
year after this.
Yeah.
Okay, gotcha.
Okay. Yeah, so this is where the Coreys met. Corey Feldman is really good in this, and I will hear nothing else. He's really good in this character. He plays Mouth, which fits because he doesn't shut the fuck up. Oh, it reminds me of you when you were young, and now...
How dare you? I did not know Spanish.
Neither
know it currently.
Neither really did Corey Feldman, but we'll get to that.
Correct.
Then we see Chunk. He shows up. Mouth is like, you gotta do the truffle shuffle. Jeff Cohen did not want to do the Truffle Shuffle.
Oh, really?
No.
Huh. Interesting. Why could that be?
I think he was a little embarrassed by it.
It should be, because this is my first example of how this movie is a bully. The Chunk is always with food or talking about food or food adjacent in some way. And this is the first instance where it's like even his friends are making fun of his weight.
Young boys fuck with each other all the time.
Making fun of and embarrassing and trying to humiliate one of their own.
They all do. All these boys do that to each other because that's what young boys who are friends do to each other.
It just stands out more whenever it comes to Chunk because it's specifically something having to do with his weight. And it's always his weight. And it stands out with Data because it's an Asian stereotype. Oh, he must be good at technology. Oh, he must be good at math. What name could we possibly give him? Data.
Okay.
I'm surprised there wasn't like a gong every time he showed up on.
Okay, that was 16 Candles. They also make fun of Chunk later on with his mom. About his mom.
An insult to his mom.
Yes, because
but when his mom actually shows up, she's holding pizza.
These boys they're boys that are best friends that fuck with each other. Mm-hmm. That's what little boys do.
See, this movie normalizes it.
You normalize garbage coming from your mouth.
I have to attack this movie.
I'm telling you right now, I don't like it.
You can't have it both ways. What am I supposed to do? Get a button push?
Because our friend Dick Donner is a kind person, he cleared the set when Jeff Cohen did the Truffle Shuffle. Isn't that sweet?
Well,
he didn't cut the scene, but because it also showed like the ingenuity of the egg falling down and the balloon popping and opening the door and all that stuff.
Yeah, they have a Rube Goldberg machine involving a live chicken and balloons and a sprinkler for their front door. Who the fuck are these people?
Scientists. The dad's a nerd. They're all nerds. The Goonies are nerds.
I'm a nerd.
If you could have come up with this when we were kids, you would have done it, but it took too much work.
Of course, but this is the prep. I just want to see the scene afterwards, after the balloon has already popped, and is this every single time the door gets opened? The gate is open? That they have to go through this whole shebang. So they're going to have to push the bowling ball back up. They're going to have to put another balloon on the thing.
I think they do it when they want to do it.
This is silly.
This isn't The English Patient. This is a silly movie. This isn't a movie about adventure.
The English Patient was silly. It had planes and fire and medicine that I remember. Oh and God. Everybody thinks Ralph Fiennes is silly.
He was Voldemort.
Yeah. What a silly goose.
This scene where when Chunk is like, I just saw the craziest thing. They're like, the crazier than the time that Michael Jackson showed up at your house. Well, Michael Jackson did visit the set of this movie, and Dick Donner took all of the cast to Dodger Stadium to see the Jackson Victory Tour.
That's fucking dope. That's all I wanted to say. This is the last weekend. No one is packed. The papers haven't been signed. This is the last weekend, and none of that stuff has been.
Yes, they're procrastinating. They don't want to leave.
Sure, but this is the last weekend. I have closed on a house, as have you. Mm-hmm. This takes a really long time.
Okay, so remember in Twister?
Yeah.
When Bill Pullman was trying to get Helen Hunt to...
Did you say Bill Pullman or Bill Paxton?
Yeah, they're the same. When he was trying to get her to sign the divorce papers, and she was a little prankster, and that's the same thing.
It is not.
It is. Chunk is a klutz, and he breaks the dick off the statue of David. And I'm going to reference your son so often because he thought that part was, he goes, uh-oh, that's the penis.
You're right, buddy. It is.
I'm like, yeah. He goes, why did he break that part? I'm like, because that's the part that would make his mom the saddest.
Oh my God! What? That's my mom's most favorite piece!
Chunk thinks it's totally normal to put the dick on upside down.
Right. If God made us like that, we'd all be pissing at our faces.
I don't blame him. Penises are peculiar looking things, aren't they?
Mrs. Walsh and Rosalita show up. The woman who played Rosalita was Lupe Ontiveros. She's an American-born person. She helped with the dialogue for all of the scenes between her and Corey Feldman, and she helped his pronunciation. She was a big part of the writing of all of that and kind of helping him pronunciate things correctly. Mrs. Walsh, who was played by Mary Ellen Trainor, R.I.P., she died of cancer also.
Oh, she did?
Yeah. She was only 15 years older than Josh Brolin in this movie.
Oh.
But she played his mama. So Mrs. Walsh is getting ready to leave to go grocery shopping with Rosalita after a very funny scene with Rosalita and Mouth going through the house. Rosalita is there to help get things packed up and clean. And Corey Feldman Mouth is just fucking with her the whole time. Here's where the drugs go.
Now, Rosalita, this is the attic. Mr. Walsh doesn't like anybody up here, ever. I guess that's why it's always
Nunca
open.
suba arriba. Está lleno de los instrumentos de tortura sexual del señor Walsh.
Mr. Walsh's sexual torture.
Yeah.
Right, is in the attic where they find the stuff.
Mm-hmm. They're getting ready to go to the store, and Mrs. Walsh is like, "What is that?" Which I say to your children all the time, and to my husband. What is that? And they're like, "Oh shit, what?
Oh shit, what?"
That is a mess, boys. The little rascals venture up to the attic to discover some treasure. And Mouth is so silly.
Okay, come here and make me feel like a woman. Come on, give me a nice wet licorice kiss. I gotcha. Now get out from behind there. You're ruining the painting. You're ruining my joke. It's all right.
Wait, did you say they go up to the attic?
Yeah.
Like, the dad's, like, sexual torture place?
That was a joke. That's not really what that place is.
We don't know that.
Of course we do. It was a joke.
I saw nipple clamps.
No, people see what they want to see.
Mikey thought the painting was real and talking to him for a minute. And destroying art is no laughing matter.
I agree. Sean Astin kept the treasure map of One-Eyed Willie.
Did he really?
Yeah. Guess what happened to it? His mom, who is Patty Duke, by the way.
Yes.
Found it later on and just thought it was trash and she threw it away.
No.
She thought it was just
Patty,
like an old
no.
crumpled. Yeah, she threw the.
Oh no.
Mm-hmm.
Do you know about his dad?
Yes, I do, because his dad is John Astin.
I mean, yes.
All I know is that even though his parents were estranged, when they watched the premiere of this movie, they held hands and cried all through it because they were so kind of overwhelmed with seeing their son on film for the first time. This is Sean Astin's first movie.
That's really sweet.
This was Corey Feldman's first movie. This is Carrie Green's first movie.
One of very few. She didn't do a ton of work.
It might have even been Josh Brolin's first movie.
I could see that.
Yeah.
You know, John Astin was
the Elephant Man.
Nope.
Oh,
it's John Hurt.
Oh, John Hurt.
John Astin was on the original Addams Family.
Oh,
he was the main father.
Clive?
No, the father. Morticia and
Steve
Addams. Morticia and
Gomez.
Gomez.
Yeah.
He was Gomez Addams. So just out of curiosity, so you can look at. I know you're thinking, well, that's not what Sean Astin looks like.
No,
it is not. So he did a paternity test a few years ago. Sean Astin did, and found out that John Astin was not his dad, but he was like, "This is the father I've known my whole life. I don't care what the paper says."
Oh, so biologically it wasn't his dad, but it was his dad. Mm-hmm. Yeah. Okay.
I love that.
Yeah, I do too. And I love that his parents could like not be dicks in his like big moment of his movie premiere. This is where we learn about One-Eyed Willie. Sam Gange's ready to go on another adventure and wants to search for One-Eyed Willie and his treasure, but no one is into it.
Well, I mean, this is after he has Chunk hold the painting or the map picture because he knows he's going to break it.
He's a klutz.
And then he just dumped the glass all over the floor. You knew I was going to bring that up.
Well, yeah, they're kids.
Glass all over the floor.
Yes, they're kids. They don't care about anything.
So this is when Mouth translates the map. Yes?
Yes.
The map is in Spanish.
Yeah.
Spanish, apparently has not changed at all in 350 years. Mm-hmm. And Mouth somehow knows the English translation for "Yea, intruders, beware."
Yeah.
And all of the Spanish rhymes in English.
Not cool.
But it doesn't make sense for people in 1632 to make a map in their native language that would just happen to rhyme in English.
It would make sense if you understood that this is pirate Spanish.
Pirate Spanish. Well, how does that differ from regular Spanish?
It rhymes.
In English? So pirates also speak English. Spanish pirates also speak English.
Yes, but it's pirate English. We meet the bad guys who are trying to take over the Goondocks. And nobody cares what their names are because they're garbage. Except the one dick is the dad of Troy, who we meet later. And he's a real dick.
Which one?
Yes, but Troy.
Troy?
Yeah, I really don't like Troy.
Is psychopath the correct term?
Sociopath.
He's a sociopath.
Yeah.
Troy is a sociopath.
Yeah, he is.
Yeah, I noticed that Chunk asked how did the story and the map get out if everybody was trapped inside the well.
It is a good question, but I think all questions shouldn't be answered. Sometimes things should just remain a mystery, and how that map got out is a great mystery. It's like, you know, many people love unsolved mysteries? Mm-hmm. Not you and I, because I want the mystery to be solved. But a lot of people love unsolved mysteries, and that's the same thing as how this map got out. Basically, we learn that these bad guys are taking over the Goondocks because they probably want to build a super Target and a golf course and a Trader Joe's, which actually, now that I say this out loud, doesn't sound that bad. The Goonies trick Thanos and let the air out of his tires and head out to find the treasure.
This is after he's like, I'm going to hit you so hard when you wake up, your clothes are going to be out of style, says the guy wearing a headband and gym shorts over the sweatpants.
He looks so good.
Over the sweatpants.
Did not distract.
If Ty was wearing that exact outfit...
This is 1985. It's 2022.
Yeah, but Ty loves wearing 1985 clothes.
I know, and anytime he does it, I just smack it to the ground and say no.
So how is this okay?
People wore that shit in the 80s. So Bran steals the bike from the little girl. My bike, I want my bike. And it's pretty cute. He looks hot.
It's not cute or hot. First of all, of course he steals the bike, but that would take way more effort and work than just walking.
I don't think so.
That teeny tiny little bike, he is gigantic on that thing.
I know, but when you
it would
go
be
down,
exhausting.
You go down a hill, no matter what the wheels are, you're going to go down faster with wheels than without.
But it's Wii.
It is, but it's still going to be faster.
That would be so hard. And to pedal.
Yeah, he's really strong.
Then he should run.
Now we meet Troy, pervy Troy. We meet Andy, who's played by Carrie Green. Mm-hmm. And then we meet Steph, who's played by Martha Plimpton. Thanos shows up.
Yes.
And Troy grabs onto Bran's arm.
Yes.
And basically tries to kill him.
Yes.
Yeah, because he's a bad guy.
Because he's a sociopath.
Yeah, he's a bad guy.
You said Patrick Bateman. That is horrible. He grabs his arm and then goes 45, 50 miles an hour with him on the little bike and then just sends him off a ravine.
Wait, do you think this is what made Thanos want to kill half of the world?
No.
You think it was Troy?
Maybe.
We stumble upon the restaurant and Chunk... What's so funny?
Go ahead.
We stumble upon the restaurant and Chunk says they could be drug dealers and Data says,
Drug dealers, shit Did you see the clothes? Drug dealers won't be caught dead in those polyester rags.
Isn't that funny?
I have that written down. I'm allowed to laugh. Why are you being such a bitch? I let you laugh constantly in Black Dynamite. You know what? Here's my impression of 90% of Chunk's lines.
Okay.
You ready? Mm-hmm. Food. Guys, I don't think we should. Food. ORV, bullet holes, food.
But he doesn't say anything about food in this scene.
Yes, he does. He says he has to get home to his mom because she will be upset if he's not at dinner if he doesn't finish his plate. And then on the way there, he says, guys, I'm getting really hungry.
It's dinner time.
And then it's like the second they get in there, he's like, pizza, ice cream. He absolutely is talking about food constantly.
Listen, we all have things that we focus on.
Yeah.
I focus on wine.
Yeah.
And books.
Yeah.
And helping people with their mental health.
Yeah.
And you focus on sugar.
Yeah.
And feeding people sugar.
Yeah.
And baking with sugar.
Yeah.
We all do what we're good at. Chunk is a food connoisseur.
Do what you love and you never work a day in your life.
Exactly. Chunk finds the ORV with the bullet holes. And instead of running away, they all go into the restaurant where they meet the Fratellis. Mm-hmm. Mouth can't help himself from being a shithead.
4 waters. Is that all?
No. I want the Villa Scalapini. I want a fettuccine Alfredo. A bottle of fettuccine in 1981.
A bottle of fettuccine.
Should always serve his tongue.
Damn. Mama.
You know what?
Shut him the fuck up, didn't it, though?
Mikey/Sam goes on another adventure to the bathroom, and this is where we meet Sloth.
This is where he ditches his friends so that he can go look for the treasure.
Yeah, he knows that they're not really into it, so
Bullshit.
He starts exploring.
No, he ditched his friends to deal with the tongue-cutting psycho, and then went downstairs like, I'm just going to go use the bathroom real quick. It's like, oh, good. I'm by myself. Now I can do the real treasure hunting. What a dick.
Mikey keeps exploring, and this is where we meet Sloth. Sloth is played by John Matuszak, who was a Super Bowl winning NFL player. He is wearing a Oakland Raiders shirt in this movie, which I am a Chiefs fan, so everyone can understand how I feel about that. But he did play for the Raiders, and so that was his sort of nod to... That was one of the teams. I think he played for the Bears, too. But he died about 4 years after this movie. He had a pretty secretive drug and alcohol addiction.
Oh.
Yeah.
Damn.
So it's one of the reasons that a lot of the cast have said you can shut down any rumors that there's going to be another Goonies because we wouldn't do it without the whole cast, and several members of the cast are dead. So yeah, that's why those rumors about the Goonies 2 thing will never really come to fruition. There's just no way on God's green earth that I would like the sequel to this movie. There's just no, as much as people say they would want it, it wouldn't have the same magic. It wouldn't be...
It never works out.
No,
when has a sequel like years and years after ever?
Terminator 2.
Okay.
That's one of the rare...
That is extremely rare.
It's why I'm a little dubious about Hocus Pocus 2. A little nervous. Sloth scares the shit out of Mikey because Mikey's a little bit anxious, and Sloth looks a little scary to a little kid.
Yeah, because he's gigantic.
And he's chained up.
And he's super muscular.
And he's screaming.
Very muscular, though.
Yeah.
He's huge.
Well, he's chained up, but he can still move.
He's chained up at all times, and he's sitting watching TV, again, at all times, and basically living a completely sedentary lifestyle, and somehow he is super ripped.
Do you know how many people in prison bulk up?
Yeah, with weightlifting. Wear his weights and stuff. He's chained all the time. With chains from the zoo, I might mention.
Right, because he keeps breaking out of shit.
That's not weightlifting. He is ripped. His thighs are tree trunks.
Yeah, squats. You see him for 5 minutes. You don't know what he's doing all day long. This could be TV time. He clearly seems like someone that keeps a schedule.
So, just to be clear, you picture him somewhere in the vein of like Bette Midler's character in Ruthless People, where even though she's chained up, she's still exercising and beefing up and all that.
Yes.
So he has weights and stuff to
he uses the
lift.
TV. I'm telling you, this is a dumb take, and the people are going to turn against you.
They're not. Why is he so muscular if he can't move?
Andy and Steph show up. No one's names are actually used in the movie. Like
they're
Michael is Mikey, Clark is Mouth,
Lawrence.
Richard is Data, Brandon is Bran, Lawrence is Chunk, Andrea is Andy, Stephanie is Steph, and Lotney is Sloth.
What?
Mm-hmm.
That actually makes me feel a little bit better that they didn't name him Sloth at birth.
No, his name was Lotney. And this is a coincidence, if you think about it, the main characters, all of their last names end in N. Aston, Brolin, Cohen, Feldman, Green, Plimpton, Kwan.
You think that's why they were hired?
No, just doing a little bit of trivia at you, though.
Oh my god. Oh my god. Is this because of...
Is this some QAnon shit?
I mean, I was going to say Illuminati. First, they take up base underneath the Denver airport, and now they infiltrate the casting of the Goonies.
I love when they're like, Mikey really wants to go, he wants to follow the map, and they're all like yelling and stuff. I, of course, have closed captioning on because I'm old, and Bran says, she knows what she's talking about. She's a dame.
Oh, yeah, I did see that.
Mikey discovers a lower level, and Data discovers fake money.
$50 bill.
$50 bill.
$50 bills? $50 bill! Guys! There's a hangers of the $50 bill!
Chunk smells ice cream and finds a dead body, and the Fratellis return.
Yeah, he's smelling that ice cream. God forbid we go 5 seconds without Chunk talking about food.
How often do we go without talking about food?
How dare you? This isn't about us. I'm not attacking us.
The Goonies escape down the fireplace, but Chunk gets stuck in the freezer with the stiff. They're like, Chunk, go get help. He escapes. The scene where Chunk accidentally runs into the Fratellis, Jeff Cohen, who plays Chunk, he improvised the Hebrew part. And it was Robert. I've been saying Robert this whole time. It's Richard Dovey.
Ooh.
Okay, everybody.
I don't think I can go back and edit that.
It's Robert Dovey. Okay, so then Robert Dovey, who plays Jake, it was his idea to sing Madame Butterfly because he's an opera singer in real life.
That makes sense.
He's beautiful voice. The Goonies, when they're on their adventure, they start banging on the pipes, and it messes with the country club.
This is after Steph breaks her glasses.
Well, really, Mouth breaks her glasses.
Sure.
No, Mikey does. Mikey breaks her glasses.
So, just to be clear,
Yeah.
70% of the movie, she doesn't wear glasses at all, even though she's like, I can't see a thing.
Yeah, thank God they're helping her get through. See, not old bullies.
She can't see anything.
Well, what are they going to do? Leave her there? Like Chester Copperpot?
Yeah.
No, they bring her along and they help her.
No. If I lose my glasses, you know I can't see shit. Just bury me where I stand.
You can't see shit with your glasses.
That's neither here nor there. Because I can't see it.
You can't see it. The Goonies start banging on the pipes and it messes with the country club.
How were you not okay with the plumbing and the Lost Boys, but somehow you're okay with this nonsense?
No. The plumbing... Whoa.
Uh-huh.
You're trying to compare this, which is underground plumbing, to the house plumbing and blood splurting out from every single water spout in the house when they kill one vampire. You're trying to say these things are parallel?
Yeah.
Well, that's dumb.
How are all those pipes and shit? That's not how that works at all.
Mouth knows how it works because his dad is a plumber.
He doesn't. He thinks he can just bang on the pipes and stuff and people are going to be able to hear it. That's not the case at all. They just know that there's havoc and they are not thinking, oh, I wonder what's causing this havoc. Maybe it's children underneath the ground.
I just love this part because you see Troy get blasted out of the toilet.
And he's wearing underwear while he's pooping.
No, his underwear are down by his knees.
Nope.
Yes, they are.
Those underwear. He's wearing underwear.
If
you think I didn't look to see if there was a penis floating up whenever he got shot out of that toilet, you're wrong.
This movie has a PG rating. He can't have a dong flopping around all over the place.
Then don't even show this. It just makes it seem like it looks like he's pooping with... Actually, it makes sense. He's a sociopath. This makes sense.
Yeah. They stumble upon a dead Chester Copperpot, and they try to follow the map, but old One-Eyed Willie set another booby trap. This is the part where Data says holy S-H-I-T, and he spells it because he promised his parents he wouldn't cuss in this movie. This is not one of the 19 shits.
Okay. That's not counted.
No.
His parents would be so pleased. Oh, this is where Mikey is talking aloud, right? To Chester Copperpot.
Chester Copperpot.
Chester Copperpot.
Let me try that again.
Just today, Junior. Just a cop out. You know what it reminded me of is the movie Manhunter with William Peterson.
What about it?
Well, you remember in that where he's like constantly like talking to the killer, like out loud. He's like saying all of his thoughts out loud. He's like, "Sat in this tree and you watched him, didn't you, son of a bitch?" That reminded me of Mikey talking out loud to Chester Cumberbatch. It's like, this isn't what you thought it would be, is it? Or no, One-Eye Willie. This is what you wanted us to do, Willie. You wanted us to find all of these pennies and stuff because you thought it was going to throw us off the scent. You knew what you were doing, One-Eye Willie. And you killed those women, didn't you?
We are all now dumber for having heard that. And may God have mercy on your soul.
Do you see?
The scene where Chunk is talking about the puking prank in the movie theater.
I mixed up all this fake puke at home, and then I went to this movie theater, climbed up to the balcony, and then I made a noise like this. And then I dumped it over the side. All the people started getting sick. I never felt so bad in my entire life.
Jeff Cohen says that wasn't based on a real thing. That's not true. That was based on an experience that Steven Spielberg had.
What?
Yeah. Steven Spielberg did that prank in a movie when he was a kid.
Steven Spielberg. Stevie.
Okay, the scene where the Fratellis find the doubloon.
Yeah.
Okay.
Oh, where Chunk's eating ice cream.
Chunk is eating. So Chunk is eating. So ice cream falls on the floor, and the Fratellis find the doubloon. And then there's a scene at the end where Chunk has like a spoon of ice cream in his mouth, and one of the Fratellis takes it from him, and Chunk is like, Dick Donner thought that scene was so funny. You can hear him laughing.
Oh, really?
Yeah, and they kept it in.
Because it was like you.
What?
That's what it made me think of.
What do you mean?
The thought of like a spoon of ice cream being taken out of your mouth, you have a look like, why would anyone do such a thing?
Well, why would someone do that? They are definitely bad guys. And also, I have not eaten ice cream off the floor in months. The Goonies are trapped in the wishing well. Mm-hmm. Okay, this might be the last thing. This will be the second to last thing I say about Finn. When we were watching this, like anytime I don't know something, I don't know if you know this or not, anytime I don't know something in general, he'll say, text mom. He literally thinks you know everything. He'll say text mom. But he was like, Google it. Google if you drop money in a well, if your wish really comes true. So I had to do this whole thing where I faked.
Fucking cutest thing I've ever heard.
Corey Feldman, if somehow he stumbled upon this podcast, he would hate me so much because I shit on his acting in Lost Boys even though I didn't mean it.
Yeah.
Guess what his autobiography is. Guess the name of his autobiography. It's choreography.
No, it is not. No, it is not.
It is. And in that, he said that he and Martha Plimpton did not get along very well.
Really?
Nope. Sam Gamgee gives a wonderful speech, and he's basically like, fuck Troy's bucket. What else does he say? Let's go find that ring that rules them all.
This is our time down here.
Yeah, let's go find that pirate ship in the ring. Every scene, and I mean this with every ounce of my heart, every scene with Chunk and Sloth is perfect.
Chunk and Sloth.
Yeah.
Really?
Yes.
It's perfect.
Yeah.
So when they were feeding each other the baby Ruth,
yeah,
you were okay with that.
Yes.
And then when Sloth kissed him on the mouth,
yes,
you were okay with that.
Mm-hmm.
Your face has contorted into the actual letters LIE.
I think it's been established that I don't like germs.
Yeah.
So I would not want a stranger kissing me unless it was most of the people I've listed on this podcast.
Or feeding a candy bar to each other.
I mean, something about that can be kind of sexy.
With Sloth and Chunk.
No. I do actually have right here in my notes, gross.
Yeah.
I always thought in that scene where he says, you smell like Phys Ed, I always thought he said Cheese Whiz.
What?
Yeah.
That is so far away from what is that? You didn't think fish heads like 90% of the rest of the population?
No, the Goonies keep exploring.
Cheese Whiz. You smell like Cheese Whiz.
That's what I heard.
Really?
Maybe the grossest thing I could think of was Cheese Whiz because that shit's nasty.
Okay, in your defense,
Yeah.
Do you remember the Whitesnake song? Here I go
Again on my own, going down the only road I've ever known.
And then like a
drifter, I was born to walk alone.
Yeah, except I thought it said twister.
Like a twister, I was born to walk alone?
Yes. I also thought in AC/DC, where it's like dirty deeds, dirt cheap. I thought it was dungarees. It makes total sense.
Wait, dirteries?
Dungarees.
The Goonies keep exploring, and there's another trap, but thankfully, Data's pinches of power save the day.
Jesus Christ.
Chunk calls the sheriff, but the sheriff doesn't believe him due to other calls he's made. And this is where the sheriff says, yeah, like those creatures that multiply when you pour water on them, which is, of course, a reference to the Gremlins, which came out in 1984. There's also in Mikey's room, which you see at the very beginning, there's a little character in Mikey's room of Gremlins.
Is it really?
Uh-huh. There's a scene where Andy and Mikey kiss.
Oh, yeah.
No one is going to be surprised when I say that Sean Astin was really stoked about this, and Cary Green not so much. Right.
Strange.
Fratellis catch up with the Goonies, and as they're running away, this is where you can hear Mikey say, "Holy Mackenzie," which his brother is named Mackenzie Astin. Next, we're in the piano scene, which, this is the last Finn thing I'll say, when Nephew Finn asked me which was my favorite, he calls them pranks, but which booby trap, he said this was his favorite one. He really got a kick out of the scene.
That makes sense.
Yeah. Andy has to play this skeleton piano to get them to the next level of the adventure.
And she knows that because Mouth translated some more Spanish to English, which actually rhymed in English again.
Yeah, Pirate Spanish. And there is one thing. Andy says that she's not sure if it's A sharp or B flat. I don't know shit about music, but I do know, because I looked shit up, musically they're the same note.
You know, these 350-year-old booby traps sure are well constructed.
Yeah, they don't make them like they used to.
Huh. That's true.
So they get through the piano trap, and they go down a bitch and slide. And the first thing I thought of was that it looks like it was designed by the Class Action Park guys. Like,
oh no, they're going to die.
I don't think an engineer was a part of this.
Did you happen to notice that everybody has a valuable trait in this that helped them survive or find the treasure, except for Steph? Steph has nothing to bring to the table.
Yeah, she does. She's the voice of reason.
Do they listen to her?
Andy does.
It doesn't seem like she listened. She said, no, don't go kissing in the cave with Brand. There's not time. This is not the right time or place. And Andy's like, get fucked. I do what I want because I'm a teenage girl. Nobody listens to Steph.
Steph is a good friend.
She doesn't do anything in this. Every single person has a trait that is valuable to continue on the story, except for Steph.
I would argue that her friendship has value. The ship was built specifically for this movie. Mm-hmm. It was 105 feet long. Mm-hmm. It took them 2.5 months to build. Mm-hmm. Post-production, this is probably the thing that blows my mind the most. Although, what are you going to do with a 105-foot ship? No one wanted it. So it was dismantled after the making of this movie.
How dare they? Didn't they even go to like Universal?
No. There were... Oh, shit. There were 2 things that Dick Donner kept. He kept the model for the ship, and he kept One-Eyed Willie's head.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, which was actually made out of bone.
Huh. Mm-hmm. So how did that ship get in the cave?
They built it around it.
In the story.
They built...
Because it seems surrounded by rock.
Didn't see that one coming. Well, that is a funny question. And so what I would like to talk about is the actors didn't see the ship until filming so he could get their real reaction. Unfortunately, and this movie was shot almost in chronological order, which I guess a lot of movies don't do, and I don't understand why they don't, but...
Because they don't want to go back and forth at locations and like different things. It's just easier.
Okay, that makes sense. But maybe because so much of this was filmed in one location. Unfortunately, what is in the movie is not the actual scene of the actor seeing it for the first time, because they'd already had their 19 shits. And when Josh Brolin saw it, he was like, holy shit. And they had to
They wouldn't cut another one? It wasn't like a fuck or something?
No, it was a shit.
We know it was a shit, not a fuck?
I know. I'm positive it was a shit. It was a holy shit.
They said it was a shit.
Yes.
So they couldn't get rid of one of the other shits?
No, the other shits were too important.
Well, even if it was a fuck, could they trade like 3 shits for a fuck?
No, I don't think so.
Really?
Yeah.
In a PG movie, you can't like.
No, I think the other shits were just, they were important for the scene.
Important shits.
Important shits. Yeah.
But more important shits than holy shit, seeing the ship for the first time?
Yes.
The holy shit ship?
Yes. They cut it.
I really didn't know the importance they put on shits and fucks.
Well, that's why they're the magic makers. They start exploring the ship and Data falls. All of his rants are hilarious. Every rant he has in this movie is so funny. And I'm not going to do it because then I'd have to do an accent and we'd get canceled before anyone actually started listening to us. That whole rant that he does there is really, really funny.
So they do know that the bad guys are shortly behind them, but none of them think, maybe we should be like arming ourselves in some way for when, said bad guys obviously show up in 2 seconds.
Thank God we're not playing a drinking game to every time I remind you that they are children.
Yes.
And not capable of multitasking or multi-thinking.
That should be their singular thinking.
No, their singular thinking is going to find the treasure. That's all they care about. Yeah. The scene with Mikey and One-Eyed Willie, I think it's super touching. And you don't want to read too much into it, but you get the sense that leading up to like this day, it was just like, we're going to have to leave, we're going to have to leave, we're going to have to leave, sad, 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 sad. He's had this big adventure that actually comes to fruition, something comes from it. And it's a really cool scene.
I do remember it.
Yeah, and then he's kind of tearful, and then the rest of the Goonies are standing behind him, and Hot Bran is like, "I've been standing here long enough, Mikey.
Long enough."
And he could stare at me all day long.
I don't remember that part.
Actually, it would get creepy after about 10 seconds. The Fratellis show up and make them walk the plank, but then Sloth and Chunk show up and save the day.
Wait, that is after they're taking all of their stuff, including all the stuff that's in Mouth.
His mouth?
Yeah, all the stuff that Mouth has been hiding in his mouth.
Mama Fratelli's like, oh my God.
Yeah, oh my gosh. He just keeps pulling more and more out. He just fits so much in his mouth. It reminded me of you. I was like, aw. I need to call my sister. Okay, here we go again with Sloth. His physical and mental disabilities, they're used as a gag every single time.
No, they're not.
Yes, they are.
No, they're not.
Yeah. I only dropped you once. Well, maybe twice. After Mama's like, you've been bad. And she goes, ow.
I know I've been bad. Rock my baby up your top. Sloth gets everyone out but stays behind to help his family. 2 cops ride up, and one of them is Dick Donner. Then all the parents show up. They all start telling the stories, and octopus was mentioned. That was mentioned because in a deleted scene, there was an octopus in the water, but that was scrapped. Sloth and the Fratellis show up, and Chunk says Sloth is living with him now, which is probably something he should have talked with his family about.
You think?
Yeah.
I like the parents show up, and it's like all the stereotypes converge. It's like the Data's parents turn up, and of course he's in technology, so immediately starts taking pictures.
You know what that makes me think of?
Huh.
I love technology.
Don't you dare. No, Chunk's family shows up with food.
Yeah, thank God. They knew he missed dinner.
They showed up with pizza. So they went and got pizza.
Yes.
And they're like, our baby Chunk is going to need this.
No, I'm just saying right now, if I ever go on an adventure that takes longer than 2 hours and I need to be rescued, I would appreciate if someone showed up with pizza. Rosalita finds the jewel bag.
She does.
Thank God. Mm-hmm. And there'll be no more signing today or ever.
How do they know that?
Because Mouth translates the pirate Spanish. No, it's not pirate Spanish. It's real Spanish.
This is real simple Spanish that he stumbles over. I don't know. No pen, no sign, no right. I don't quite understand it because it's not ye intruders beware. Somehow this is the Spanish that seems to trip him up, not 300-year-old Spanish.
Or he's been traumatized because he went on an adventure. He didn't go on a vagina. He went on an adventure. And he almost got killed by the Fratellis.
Yeah.
And he's not thinking clearly.
He was able to translate the piano bullshit.
That was in the moment, though. Now, like, the adrenaline is all kind of down. And
did he have adrenaline when he was when he met Rosita the first time?
Yeah, he was excited because he was going to do a prank.
That's not adrenaline, though. That's just excitement. He was able to talk. He was able to translate like cocaine and all kinds of cockroaches and everything, but not no write, no pen, no sign.
The important thing is Rosalita finds the jewel bag.
Yeah.
And they don't have to give up the Goondocks, which means that's the end of the movie. Oh, but then you do see the pirate ship sail. It's over.
It's done. Yes. It's over now.
Yay!
I cannot believe you didn't get a button push.
I feel good enough. I can't believe it. Ooh, there was a few where I probably should have.
I am shocked.
Ooh, that was really, really hard.
Because this movie is so good. This movie came out in 1985. Do the math. How long ago was that?
I don't know.
30...
Yeah, go ahead, please.
Okay. 1985.
Uh-huh. Let's start with the top number first. 2022.
So 39 years ago?
No. No. Wait, probably 37?
37 years ago. This movie came out 37 years ago. And I love that an 8-year-old... Wait, what's so funny? Is that wrong?
It's just so that we just can't do math.
We can't. I'm still not 100% sure that's right.
It is. 37's right.
Okay. So I love that with all that's come out in 37 years, video games, CGI, all of the, all that, an 8-year-old can still watch this movie and find the things charming about it that we found. And that is a movie that stands the test of time.
I 100% agree. I actually can't wait until we do the Neverending Story. Can I say that we're going to do the Neverending Story?
Yeah, I'm the pro.
Yeah, because when I showed it to Madeline when she was about Finn's age, and she, there was that part where he's running through the Sphinxes, and she goes, "Run, Atreyu, run!"
Oh,
I thought, yeah. I'm so glad that the movies that we watched are.
Didn't the Sphinx have big old boobies?
They had some big old titties. They had some big titties. That's part of the problem. Is that you need to be able to be brave and have confidence and run through them and not get distracted by the big old titties. They're
whoa.
I am a soldier. I can do this. Whoa, titties. I really love this movie.
This was great. I want to hear a movie that instantly makes you feel nostalgic for childhood.
I love that. You can get a hold of us very easily. We made it very easily for you.
Dun, 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 dun.
We're Split Happens Pod on all of the socials, and splithappenspod.com is our website. How about that?
Can we have pizza?
We love hearing from people.
Let's have pizza tonight.
Is it pizza?
Yeah, we've been talking about it for 3 hours.
Yeah, pizza would be good. Well, we're going to go watch another movie that we can't say because we might end up reviewing it.
You know what? This is exciting. It's one that I haven't seen. So Anna is pretty sure that I'm going to love it, but I haven't seen it. So
I love it a whole lot. Ooh, can I give a hint?
Yeah.
It's the third in a movie franchise. This was amazing. Can't wait till we come back to the studio again.
It'd be great.
Thanks, Katrina.
Thanks, Anna Serene.
Bye, everybody.
Bye, everybody. Bye, bye, bye.